Hello guys, welcome to the 15th video of the short HTML5 video tutorial series for absolute beginners. So in this particular video we are going to take a look at how to build HTML forms. So to start with, we will have to use the opening and closing HTML form tags. So we are going to have our opening and closing form tags. So over here we have our opening form tag, and then we also have our corresponding closing form tag. Now in between the opening form tag and also the closing form tag, we can basically have any number of HTML input elements. So for this we are going to have a username field, so that's going to be a text input field. So we are going to have input, and then the type of this input is going to be of type text. So we can give this input the name of maybe username, and then we also give it an ID, which is not needed by the way, but we can just give it an ID of username. And finally, let's give it a placeholder of username. So let's save this, and so as we can see, our text input field has been rendered nicely in the browser. So the second input field we are going to have is a password input field. So we are going to have an input field, and it is going to be a type of password. So of course, let's give it the name of password, and then the ID also, let's set it to password. And then finally, let's give it a placeholder text of password also. So placeholder of password. So let's save all this. So we have our username field, we have our password field, and then now we are going to have a button for submitting the username and the password whenever a user supplies them. So let's have a button, and this button is going to be of type submit. Now let's give it a name. So the button is going to have the name of submit. Let's save this. So you can see we have our username input field, we have our password input field, and then we have our submit button. Now we could have created all these input fields to appear one on top of each other. So we could just do that easily by using a BR tag. So BR, which is short for line break. So if we save this, you can see that now our password input field is right below the username input field. Now if we wanted some spacing, we could add another BR tag here, BR, and if we save now, you can see we have spacing. So let's go to this place also, and we are going to add two BR tags. Let's save this, and so as we can see, our form is now arranged in a vertical way. So one thing I also want to talk about when it comes to building a form is that every form tag comes with two very important attributes. The first one is the action attribute. Now what this does is that the action attribute is where you specify the name of the file on the server side that is going to be processing whatever data that is sent from this form. So if I have a file with the name of, let's say, server process or something, maybe it could even be server.php or something, and if this is the file that is going to be processing this form data, then you are going to enter the name of the file on the server side, and then you also add the extension. Then we also have another attribute which is called method. So now this attribute is used to specify the method in which the browser is going to use to submit this form. So typically we use post for submitting forms, so you can specify that here as post. So now our form is fully complete. We have our opening form tag here, and we have the corresponding closing form tag, and in between those two tags we have our username input field, which has the name attribute. Very important, because that is how on the server side we are going to be able to know which input data this is or that is. So whatever data we are submitting, we are going to identify every piece of data by the name field. So whatever name we put here on the server side, we are going to have access to all these names, so that when we see username by a piece of data, we know that piece of data was entered into the username input field. So we have our username input field, we have our password input field, and we have a button for submitting our form. So basically that is how we build forms in HTML. So now if you have any comments about this video, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you have not subscribed to the channel already, I urge you to subscribe so that you'll be the first to know when I upload the next video. Now in the next video, I think that's going to be our last video. I'll take you through some of the few things that you can do or use so as to be able to progress from all these videos that you have watched so far. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.